After both of my production cards, I introduced my opening sequence with the soundtrack layered on top of the titles. When I previously conducted my questionnaire as part of the audience research for my opening sequence, I found that 90% felt the soundtrack was key to building the emotions in a film. By introducing the soundtrack now, it sets the mood and atmosphere already for the audience to build emotional attachments to the characters later on. This is similarly found in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. The majority of responses also said that they preferred a camera pan as the establishing shot type to introduce the location. The location is set in an average working class area so that the audience can identify and find familiarity with the opening sequence. The parental figures within the film are used to address the audience, as they can relate to pressures and accusations that are not always true. When the voiceover begins, the audience starts to actively engage with the character and start to sympathise, therefore building the emotional attachment. Similarly, in To Kill a Mockingbird, the child starts humming and then the soundtrack fades in. Even though the audience knows little about the character, there is an attachment that's been built. The relationship between the sisters in the film attracts the target audience as they can relate themselves to the confrontation that builds between them. The social issues that the characters face are realistic, which makes the film more intense for the audience. When I gained audience feedback from the final edit, they liked the use of the high-angled shots to demonstrate Lola's vulnerability. The change in location halfway through the opening sequence appealed to the audience, as they liked the atmosphere that it created and felt it reinforced the mood, with aspects like the bad weather. A unique selling point of my film is that the information about the cause of Lola's depression is completely revealed in the first 2 minutes, which is unconventional of most social realism films. Therefore, the audience wants to continue watching to understand what caused the accident. The audience feedback on the final edit showed that the layering of the sound effects in the car crash scene worked very effectively and made the whole opening sequence much more intense. Enigma codes are raised further as the audience wants to know what triggered that dramatic event.